Hey guys, episode 3 of Mama Birds. Hope you all had a great week. Thanks for coming back and listening to us. So how was everybody's week?
Pretty good. It was a fun week. Yes, it was filled with lots of grandkids.
I love it. I honestly can't remember my week. Always good.
Well, it started off with Father's Day. We had Father's Day. I had 2 Father's Day. We had one here with all the grandbabies, and then we had
that
one.
seems so long ago.
Yeah.
So it's been a long week. Cheers to that.
My best Father's Day was over at.
Did it involve any of us?
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
We weren't at the Father's Day with Mom, so.
I went to my brother's house and we celebrated my dad, and
Oh my gosh, remember the other day that she said had her best time ever?
That was right. None of us were there.
that's
The Christmas Eve.
Yes.
So
Wow.
all of my mom's favorite times were without us.
So next week, she will not be here.
Mama Bird flying to the south.
She's
the
migrating for the summer.
Well, let me explain. The reason why is because I don't usually get to spend time with my siblings away from grandbabies. And when you have grandbabies and 6 of them around, they're all wanting all your attention. And this way you get to sit around a table with all adults, and I don't get to talk to my brother Frankie very often. Roland was there, and Tony, and I don't get to sit and just talk to them. And
I guess
with a
that's what
little
happens
bit of-
when you're old.
Yeah, it was
You just
fun.
really treasure those times.
Yeah,
I do understand
it's
the
really
adult
fun.
time though. It is.
Oh yeah,
It
we
is
just
nice.
don't get that. So
Yeah.
They gave me a whole bunch of movies to go home and watch, and when I got home to watch them all, I have to pay for them all.
that is so.
So I'll have to watch those a later date.
Yeah, give us some recs, Mom. Ashton, how was your weekend?
It was good.
Good.
It was fun.
You got to see your family.
Mm-hmm.
That's
My parents
awesome.
were in town and it was fun, and we went to dinner a couple times.
Like,
and
we're
hung
just
out,
living it up.
and It was good.
I can't even remember what I did this weekend.
The kids had a lot of fun. We went to Goodwill. Galen and my dad went golfing. It was a good time.
Cute. That's cute. All right, let's do highs and lows of the whole week.
We know Mom's high.
That was
Mom's
my high.
I know this game. This is like so like high school youth group, the high-low thing, but like I love it. It's a great check-in point with your friends.
You want to start?
No.
No. I'll start.
Honestly, I wrote these notes. I did not prepare. At
We're going
all.
to wing it.
All right, wing it. Go, Jordan.
My low of the week was everybody just kind of had colds at my house. So it's just like, not that it was bad, it just like the energy was low, the moods
Yes.
were not great. And so it's just like, as the mom, even though you don't feel good, it's just, you gotta try to be the energy for everybody,
know.
which is
It's like the
hard.
worst because like you have to be on.
Yes.
Even though you feel very off.
yes. So that was, I mean,
I
it's
feel
not
that.
horrible, but it's just,
I feel
you know.
that.
Hi. Tuesday, got to go on a date with Brett. That was really fun. We went to Federal Pizza. Never been there before. It was really good. Nice little date. I like having alone time, just separate from everyone.
I love it. I will go because my high, I got to go on a date too. We went to the auto shop and we got our cars oil change and tires rotated, but we got like a wine and a beer while we were waiting, and that was really fun. My love language is like someone taking me out for a drink, and so that was like so fun. And then my low, oh my gosh, I've just been so hormonal because it's about that time. So like everything is just like making me sad, making me cry, or I just feel like I am bloated all day long, just for all month it seems like. So it's been very irritating. But
So let's see if we can make you cry today.
yeah, you know what? Go for it, everyone. Let's get into the hot takes. You guys can attack me.
All right, Ashton, what was your high and low?
My high was probably just seeing my family. That was nice that they were in town. That doesn't happen all the time because they don't live here, but it was nice spending time with them. Hello. I don't really think it was me, but Galen had hives a couple of times, which I hope he doesn't mind me sharing that on the podcast, but I felt really bad for him because that's like not fun.
In the car.
That's true. Car troubles and hives.
And the car trouble.
Hey, at least it wasn't you that had the hives. When I had the hives, that was not good. Not a good time.
But He's doing good now. It was short-lived, and
God is good.
we have no idea why it happened. But it seems to be gone. And I drove the car here, so it's running.
So Ashton didn't catch on fire. We're doing good.
Man, I was praying. I was praying big time. I was so upset about the car.
Nothing is more annoying than car problems, though. And I feel like it always happens.
Probably hives.
Probably hives. Those together are pretty irritating, but it's fine. Did you say hello, Mom? We know you're high.
I think that high just sent her through the week.
Well, my low was probably just the same thing. Just not kind of having a week where I felt a little bit like not feeling good, but then I'd get up, get moving, I'd feel great. I never skipped a day of working out, so I never was really that sick. But it's still that feeling of yuck, you know, when you
just
first
a
wake
down
up.
week.
Kind of, yeah.
A little bit.
Going around.
It's going around town. But you know what? Next week's going to be so much better.
So
My Aunt Donna used to always say, when you don't feel good, make sure you dress up really pretty, make sure you do your best, because everybody will give you kinds of compliments and you'll actually start feeling better. So this morning, when I was getting ready, I put on this necklace here.
Like, this is
And I was
going to do
like,
it.
this is gonna do it. I'm gonna feel so much better because I'm wearing this.
I always put
big
on
piece
hoops
of bling.
if I need some up.
And I walked in the door, and 3 of the grandbabies just came running up, and I literally could have sat down there for a show and tell for like 10 minutes with
I
them
know,
looking at
they
all
loved
the little
it.
gems and the jewels, and just it was so cute. It was
I saw this
precious.
quote, which this reminds me of like what you used to say too, because when we were growing up, it was, the quote is, you can never be too overdressed or overeducated. And I'm like, yes, because my mom, me and Jordan used to get nervous like anytime we'd go somewhere, if like we were dressing like any sort of nice, we'd be like, oh my gosh, like is this too fancy? We're just going here. My mom would be like, you can never be too overdressed, only underdressed. And I'm like, okay, it's true. And so now I'm like, always overdressed when in doubt. But that's good advice. I have carried it into my life.
love it.
Okay, should we go into some hot takes? We did not even, like, we had the idea. Well, actually, Galen, Ashton's husband,
Shout out
had the
to
idea.
Galen.
He was like, you guys should do some hot takes or unpopular opinions as another. Are hot takes and unpopular opinions the same thing?
I think similar, at least similar.
I'm like, I wouldn't know. I should have
Yeah.
Urban Dictionaried that.
Yeah, it looks like it. Based off of what I'm reading.
Well, I put them together, so it was really up to me to define that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that we should just dive right in and go with my favorite one.
Okay, make sure we talk close to the mic.
Yes. Okay. Now, hot takes, everybody. Be unoffendable, okay? If we say something you don't agree with, just relax. But you know what's good? We don't all agree on this first one. So, I'm going to say it, and then whoever has...
I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. Okay, whoever has an opinion that wants to share on one of the hot takes, just go. Okay?
All right.
Okay,
Hit it.
first one is, Gilmore Girls is not a good show.
Let's go, Ashton.
I have points for both sides. So, okay, Ashton, talk about your opinion on this.
Okay. I feel like Gilmore Girls is like a comfort show.
Yes.
It's very easy to watch. I can rewatch it multiple times, and I don't feel like I have to like pay super close attention.
Yes.
So
Because
I
nothing's
grew up
happening.
watching it, and I liked it. I will say, okay, I like the show.
Yes.
I enjoy a lot of aspects of the
Yes.
show. But my own hot take, Rory and Dean are by far the worst characters in the show.
100%.
And it's so funny because the show makes them out to be like people we should be rooting for.
Yes, they're the worst characters.
But they are the worst people in the show.
yes.
Like
their
Dean
character.
and Rory are the worst people, and Jess and Logan are much better people than Rory and Dean.
They are. You have not finished it. Jordan is on season 4, which, hang on.
Oh,
My
yeah.
mom is going to be so silent during this time because she has never seen
never seen the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, she does not care
Okay,
at all.
I'm just gonna point out the obvious. So, Rory, sorry, you're only on season 4. You don't know any of this, but she is a mistress times 2. Okay, so
That's
she
what I
is
said.
not a character
literally-
that I can
because
root
I
for.
hate Dean. I think he's the worst. And Jordan's like, I still don't know why we hate him yet. And I'm like, well, I didn't like him from the first episode. But Jordan's like, I just don't get it yet.
Oh,
and I'm
I
like,
agree
you
with
will.
you. I felt like he was just a very
He's so whiny. He's a whiny baby.
yeah, and he just was kind of like a controlling boyfriend in my mind. But
That's what I thought. He was very
Is
controlling.
this for teenagers, this
Yeah,
show?
It is, but I know a lot of grown women who watch this show also.
But yes, my hot take on that show is I do like it. However, I think the worst characters are Rory and Dean.
Yes.
And everyone else I can find redeeming qualities
you're
in.
like, okay,
I
that
can't
one-
really find redeeming qualities in either of them.
See, Mom, Gilmore Girls, it's about a mother and her daughter.
Okay.
And then that girl. It's generational.
Okay.
So, like, it does have, it has Lorelai's mom, who is older, and then it has her, Lorelai, and then it has Rory, her teen daughter. So it is generational. That's why I think women of, like, more ages watch it.
My final
Just
hot
some
take on the show
background.
is I think it was very unfair for the writers to not finish it up by letting us know who the father of her baby was. I think we all know, but I feel like that's a very loose end. Sorry, Jordan.
It's your fault. The show's been out forever.
Sorry, I feel like there's so many people that need to know my opinion on this, but that was not fair.
That is true.
You really made us watch
That is-
for like
that is
several
true.
weeks.
So
and
this
then
is just mindless
not fill us
TV.
in.
Huh?
This is just mindless
Well,
TV.
it's a show.
Oh, yeah, it's a
It has
show.
a storyline.
To Mom, everything is mindless.
I do have a hard time sitting down to watch TV.
Yeah, we know.
I wish I enjoyed it more, but when I watch TV, I usually like.
Yeah, she picks everything apart.
I do. I like reality TV. I like Survivor.
I was like, I love
I feel
Survivor.
like if anything, I gave you reasons you have to watch now.
Okay, so literally, here's my hot take. This show is awful. Like, it is terrible. I am literally trying not to gouge my eyes out while I watch it every single day because Darren told me you have to just keep watching. So I keep waiting. I started this show a year ago, and I am still on season 4.
Yes.
Okay, but I am toughing it out. I have my
You only
stars
have 2
hollow
seasons left, I
mug
think,
right
or
here.
3, maybe 3.
I think it's 3. Because the thing is the writers aren't good.
There's a lot
Literally,
of plot holes.
the entire thing is full of this makes zero sense. Oh, there's a character. Oh, they're gone. Oh, now they're back again. Literally nothing makes sense. There is nothing that is attention grabbing in the show. There's nothing that like makes you want to keep watching it.
And
Seth
how
Cohen
often
was
do you
there.
watch it?
I mean, I watch.
Like, this is a cult show, so like people who watch this, they will rewatch it.
Okay,
Just
kinda like The
over-
Office.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm watching it very slow. I think Darren and I agree that the best seasons are like 5, 6, and 7.
Yes,
Well,
because
that's
why
when
I'm
things
toughing it
happen
out.
with like Lorelai and Luke.
And Logan
Because
and
I
Lori.
am just literally waiting for Lorelai and Luke to get together. At this point, I don't even think that Lorelai deserves Luke, and hopefully
true.
at some point she'll seem like
See,
she
it is-
deserves something.
It is funny
but-
because Jordan will text me during the episodes and be like, "So what happened to this character?" And I'll be like, "Honestly, I don't know." Because I like
So-
it is funny because I watched it really fast, so and you just don't pay attention. But then it's like when you're watching it, like she is, you notice more plot holes, especially older shows,
Yeah.
because they do fit a lot of storylines into one show. So then you're like, "Wait, what?
Yes.
Where'd this person go?" And
I
I'm
was
like,
literally
"True, I don't
watching
know."
it the other day. And so we did kind of come to the conclusion of I do not relate to any of the characters in the show. So I think that that's
Yeah.
why I am struggling with it. However, like I'm watching it the other day and Suki finally has her baby after being pregnant for 10 years. And her baby's name is Davy. And I text Darren and I am like, I have to rename Davy because I cannot have my child named after the show. People think I did this and I hate this show. And now my kid's named after it.
And you never told her?
I knew that she did name her kid Davy, but I love that name, and if I told her, she would not like that name. So I did not say anything, but I'm like, it is true. Suki does feel like she's pregnant a long
You know
time.
We
another
have a
show.
Darcy. And
Yeah.
Darcy is from Pride and Prejudice.
That's true.
You know another thing?
Which is the
that I
all-time
thought
best.
about? Another character I like that they want you to not like is the grandma.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I realize like it's
Emily
funny.
Gilmore
Emily.
is one of the best.
Because
She is.
you realize, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, if her and the grandfather are going to be paying for the tuition for Rory, they deserve to have dinners every Friday
Right,
night.
and they make her seem like such a bad mom. And I'm like, she's the only character who I feel like redeems themselves and like almost learns that they were wrong in a lot of ways and make up for it. Like I feel like she actually works on her
no one else
character.
realizes where they're wrong.
No, because like Lorelai, I do love her, but she makes bad choices just all the time. Like just continually choice
And
after
Rory.
choice. Yes, for sure. But I think so low of her.
It is so bizarre to me that everyone puts her on like this pedestal, like she can do no wrong. Because I'm like, let me count on like 12 hands how many things that she
So
does.
the thing that I do like about the show is like it feels cozy because it's like a small town, and I think that's one of the reasons people like it is because it's just very like comfortable. There's nothing real shocking about it, so it is a comfortable show, and it's just
shocking how much people like it.
I knew you were gonna say something like that, but yeah, it's like. There are just a couple characters for me that I like. The reason why I even told Jordan to watch it was because Jordan loves like Hallmark stuff. So and I was like, and I looked at Gilmore Girls as like a super cheesy show.
Yes.
So I was like, Jordan will love this because it's just cheesy. And then I was just so shocked when she was like, "Why are you making me do this?" But now you just have to get.
How long will it take Jordan to finish?
Yeah, another year
take
because
bets on
it's
that.
been years. Okay, we'll move on for mom's sake. So
Yeah, I'm kind of like
I'm neutral.
She's gonna go home and watch the first episode.
No, not me.
No, mom will.
Don't do it. You'll hate it.
Jordan's like, if you've
Hey,
never watched
I do
Gilmore
like
Girls,
Below Deck, so if anyone else is out there like me, do you like Captain
Honestly-
Sandy or Captain Lee better? That's the next thing.
But it's Sandy, right?
Oh, for sure, Sandy.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I know there's.
I do like Below Deck sailing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the sailing yacht guy.
But
He's
I
so.
would
what's
never
his
want to
name?
go on a sailing yacht ever.
I would not want to go on a
forget
sailboat.
That just
his
doesn't
name
even
is.
look like fun.
I saw that Brooke Wells was on a sailboat in Hawaii this week, and I was like, I don't think you could pay me to go on a sailboat.
No way. No, thank you.
Like it looks beautiful,
Yeah.
but no.
And I mean, they put those sails up, and then you're going left and right, and I'm like, no, what that? No,
You going left, you're going right. The directions, you know. Who wants directions?
Not when you can pay the same to be on the yacht.
I would rather be
that's
on the
true.
yacht.
That is true. Okay, so we're gonna go into the next hot take.
Oh, also one more thing.
Okay, go.
I said I like Survivor. I did not Google this, but I'm almost sure that Jeff Probst had a facelift. I am not sure, but I was shocked when the next season started.
Does he look the same or
Something
like
looks
different?
different about him.
Okay, guys, gotta let
Maybe
us know.
like
Do you agree?
Botox or like a facelift.
I don't know.
Did he need
looks
it to be
different.
lifted?
I don't know. He just looks
Did you
different to
lose
me.
weight?
You know what? I didn't take the time to Google it. I didn't really care.
You know
I
what?
don't
You
care.
probably won't
I really
find.
don't care.
Which
Whatever
this is a
anyone
hot
does.
take. I'm gonna throw out Zac Efron. Did he or did he not get reconstructive? Like, what is he plastic surgery? What is the word?
You know what?
Something's
It's not the same.
Something's not the same.
I know, but
A lot is not the
I
same.
just feel like he got really attacked, and I think people
Oh, he
shouldn't
for sure
care
did.
so much about another person
I
and
care
what
about
they
him because
do
I
or
love
do
him.
not do.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not judging. I could care
yeah,
less.
No, we know
I'm
you
not
are.
judging.
Yeah, I don't care.
Zac Efron really took
Yeah.
some heat, and I'm like, dang.
Well, I feel
I just
bad.
really, actually, to be honest with you, I just think people age gracefully. I don't
Yes.
mind seeing people get older. I'm gonna
Aging
get
is a
older.
beautiful thing.
It is. And people are afraid of it.
Yeah.
I get it. Because
Yeah,
I'm
I
older
get it
than you
too.
guys. So every once in a while, I'll be pulling my things back here and going,
My things.
let's see, what would I look like if I was a little bit younger and didn't have this and didn't have that? And
Yes.
I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Everyone knows who I am.
Which I think that was another hot take that we actually got. I don't know if you
Oh
printed
yeah.
it on
Oh
here.
yeah. No. Yes, there was
But-
one. Let me see. But
Talking
go.
about like Botox and stuff. And I feel like we just like, because we live in a day and age with a lot of Botox and a lot of plastic surgery, that's like the norm. And so it kind of makes you think that like if you're choosing to age naturally, that like, oh, like I need to keep up with that, or like there can be that, you know?
Yes.
And so it kinda
yeah.
is
Someone
like-
asked thoughts on Botox, filler, boob jobs, and the difference in dyeing your hair and makeup versus those changes.
Okay. So
I think that like
I see what they're
from a health standpoint, like
Yeah.
I'm very pro like you do whatever you want to do, but I also think that like for health reasons you should definitely research everything you do
Yeah.
and put into your body.
Mom can speak from.
Yeah. I definitely like my hair colored. I don't want to go gray.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I'm choosing to do. And I don't care what people think about that. Just color your hair. Do what you want to do.
Yeah, I don't think
it doesn't really
hair
matter.
coloring is a big deal.
I don't look at that as a big thing. However, I do have implants. And I thought at the time, oh man, I'm going for it. I'm doing this. I'm done nursing. I'm going to do this. And it was great, and I do appreciate it. But now that I'm older, I'm like, ooh, if I could go and turn back time, I probably wouldn't do it, because you spend more of your life older than you do younger, and I don't want to. I have these lurking health concerns, like, oh, what happens if this, or if I have one thing. Like, I work out in the gym all the time, so I'm sore. My pecs get sore and all that. And I'm like, oh, is that something? Oh, is that something? And it would be nice to not have those.
Yeah,
and,
I think,
and just appreciate your body. Just appreciate your body. And
there's a lot of like
worry.
things coming out too of people getting like explants and stuff because of like health reasons, like they've been sick unexplainably, all those things.
Oh, yeah.
So I think when you make a decision based on like you're getting like a boob job or Botox or any of those things, just like be aware of like what you're putting in your body. Like you have to acknowledge it is what it is. You're putting a foreign material into your body, and who knows how your body's gonna react. Everyone is different. So like someone may have a boob job that got the same time as you, has never felt anything different, you know. Everyone's bodies just are different. I think that getting like fillers, Botox, and like boob jobs, things that change like your, like that go into your body is different. Just because I feel like it's a bigger decision, almost. You know, that like permanently changes something.
The other thing is when someone gets something like that, you probably don't think about this, but everybody looks at you and says, oh, she has Botox. All right? They don't say necessarily, oh, those are sexy lips, or that's this, or whatever.
Yeah.
They usually will say, oh, looks like she has Botox. Is that what you want?
Which you could still look sexy.
You still can.
Yeah.
You can. But for me personally, I'll be like, oh, but I don't want anyone to have that be the first thing they say.
Yeah.
So I know that it's a personal decision, and everybody just got to do whatever they want to do. But I feel like sometimes we rush into things because we see so much of it, and the more we think about it, the more you want it. Kind of like you never wanted a blue car until you start seeing, then the minute you want a blue car, then you see all these blue cars, and
you
you're
never
like,
want a Bronco until you see everyone driving the dang Broncos, and you're like, man, I would look good in a Bronco.
So if you're even thinking about it, then now you've got that on the forefront, and now you see it everywhere, and then you talk yourself into it, and you do all these stuff, whereas you just kind of gotta step back sometimes and say, let's just cool this down for a minute. Let's see if I still want it in a year.
Yeah, and I'm like a very individualist person, so I'm all for people expressing themselves and doing those things. But I think you have to have like the reason has to be like, for me, I would never do anything in favor of like other people. Like I want like I would want it to be, I want this because like I want it, versus like it's going to make people like me. And then you also have to have your, this is scattered, but like you have to know who your identity is in, you know, like for me that's a big thing. So and for me, like personally, like what I would do, I wouldn't do those things just because I don't feel like I wouldn't want to risk the health things with putting that in my body. And also, like, this is more like of an emotional view on things, which I know a lot of people don't have this same outlook, but I'm like, I don't want to hurt God's feelings, like, you know, like, because he made me this way. So like I don't want to like change something about me because like, oh, he didn't make my lips big enough, you know. And then I'm like,
but couldn't you do that with your hair too?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You could do all those things, but with that, I'm like, I'm just changing the shade. It's the same family. But yeah, you could do that with everything. But I look at those things as more of like temporary changes. But that's why it's totally a personal thing. Like I just, above all, I would look more into the health.
I think it's all personal choice. I would never have judgment on anyone for like their own personal decisions they make. But I do think it's like worth taking the time to research the potential like health side effects from whatever you're choosing to do, if it is a more like permanent choice. My view on like makeup and hair, I guess, is more along the lines of like, it is something that is easily like changeable, like it doesn't have permanent effects for the most part, and like there are cleaner options these days if you're
Yeah.
concerned about like particular things regarding like the makeup that you're using.
Yeah. Which thank God they're finally
But I
coming out
think
with
it's
clean
fun.
makeup.
I think it's fun doing like for makeup. Like to me, that's fun, and I like
Yes.
to do my makeup. I have fun doing it, but I don't think that it says anything negative if you're someone who's like, I prefer to not wear makeup. So you just need to be like very comfortable with whatever choice
Yes.
you choose to make.
I'll
for
be your
yourself.
friend and love you if you got big lips, small lips, Botox, boobs, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I
It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by tattoos. I've always wanted
too.
to get tattoos. When I was younger, it really was not a thing. As you guys were teenagers is when it kind of started. I got my wedding ring tattooed. That took forever to convince Galen to do that.
Yes.
I think we did it on our 15th anniversary. So yeah, 15
In the
years.
sketchiest little shop I've ever seen.
But it's been there forever.
Every time I drive by that, I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus, they could have found somewhere else to go do this.
But I have had Darren draw up things. I follow so many people on Instagram.
Yeah, I drew up a cool sleeve on you, too. I'm trying to talk her into it.
I would love to do it, but I just don't think I ever will.
But, see,
I am
we're
so
kind of split
intrigued
on
by
all
it, and
that,
I
too,
love
'cause
it.
Jordan doesn't want any more tattoos. She has one. But she's like, I don't need anything else on me.
Yeah, I know.
And
I
I
would
am
love
like,
to, but there's like I just love looking at them. I
Yeah.
love looking at people that
Do you
have
like
them.
looking
and
at my
some-
tattoos?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. I think it's really cute.
I can't wait to have my full
There's
sleeve,
some people
but it's
that
just
have
so expensive.
really amazing tattoo
Yeah.
work, and I'm like, okay, so if I do it, then I want this artist, but they live over here. I have to fly there, and then when's if I don't like it? It's so permanent, and I'm like,
Yes, I
I
know.
just can't commit.
Yes.
But anyway,
I feel like my artist did a really good job with lettering. That's like a hard thing to do, I've heard,
Yes.
is
so
lettering.
sometimes that's what I do. It just
Yeah.
makes me feel good just to
You
look
just
at
have to-
everybody's tattoos and.
Go on Pinterest.
Go on Pinterest. Well, it's so funny because I was like, I only want a sleeve, and then I saw a picture of this girl with like a tattoo somewhere else. I was like, ooh, maybe a sleeve and that. And I'm like, hang on.
Yeah.
Calm down, girl.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
it's like a
maybe I
little
could
bit
get one where no
addicting.
one can see it, but I'm like, well then, I don't know. I probably will never do it.
I cut the sleeve off of this side of the shirt just so you could see my tattoos more than this
yeah,
one.
it's
See?
cute. I saw that.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute. I didn't know that's why you did it.
I wore that shirt the other night with the sleeves on it, and Brett goes, "What is this?"
I put this shirt on with the sleeves originally, and Carson's like, that's a cool shirt. What does that mean? Like, it's a concert tee, okay? Okay, next one is, do you want to do, okay, should we
Ooh,
do,
Can I do flaming hot Cheetos
Oh, gosh.
and Takis taste gross? Way overhyped. Who would write that?
do you like those?
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
I am
I
right
do
with
love
that
tacos.
person.
Do you like tacos?
I like tacos.
And I like both.
I could down a bag. If I didn't care
I like
about what
flaming
I
hot
put into
Cheetos,
my
too.
body, I would down hot Cheetos and Takis at the same time. I would put some tahini on top of it and like.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea about that about you. Are you kidding me? Like, I like
That was like-
goldfish. That's the only cheesy snack
I
I
like literally.
I don't even consider
That's all I would
Takis
use.
or hot Cheetos cheesy. There's nothing cheesy about them. They're just
Are they
They're not
spicy.
cheese. No, it's like spicy.
What's on them? Spice. But what? Cheetos have cheese.
No,
Cheese.
these are flaming hot Cheetos.
Oh,
Don't
they
you
just
remember
remind me of
the hot
teenagers.
Cheeto days?
They just remind me of teenagers. Like
I know. And when you have the metabolism,
remember
they probably that's what's causing all the infertility. But you know,
Yeah,
they
I
taste
did not,
delicious.
I did not
Honestly,
enjoy those at all. I had
Oh
no.
my gosh, that's so
and
funny.
then
I do remember you
Trader
eating hot
Joe's has a
Cheetos.
version of their Takis.
Oh, the chili lime, like in the pink bag.
Those
yeah.
are good. Those are really good.
That
too.
is so
I can get
funny.
down with
Mom's like, I'm down on the Taki game.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
All right, we needed a little easy segue into the next.
Hang on. Okay, wait.
to
Should we do
something
another
else.
easy one or?
Ooh, Bella should have ended up with Jacob. What were you, Team Jacob or Edward?
Oh,
Darren?
I'm team. Okay, so this question is multifaceted because I'm definitely team Robert Pattinson. Absolutely. Yeah, I love Robert Pattinson. But then, listen. So I was definitely team Edward. But now, like in this day and age, this year, I love Taylor Lautner. He's a little doll baby.
He is.
And his wife's name is also Taylor. So
okay.
it's Taylor and Taylor.
They have a podcast.
And they have a podcast that's actually really cool. And she's so sweet and just, they're like the sweetest couple. But Robert Pattinson is dating Suki Waterhouse, I think is her name. And she's so beautiful. I just love both
Not
of
the
them.
Suki that's on.
Not
Gilmore
Gilmore
Girls.
Girls. No, but I'm so impressed that
do
you
you know who that is?
No, McCarthy.
Is
the girl
Suki.
bridesmaids. It's coming at me like lava. Yeah, it's that girl. That's Suki.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Yes.
Before she got her
Which,
big.
hang on, back to the Gilmore Girls thing. That was like, Gilmore Girls, they were kind of the on-ramp for a lot of actors and actresses. Like, that was like people's first gigs.
Okay, yeah.
Because they're all very young.
It's amazing they all got second jobs.
I knew you were going to say that.
But
Milo Ventimiglia, Milo, the guy in This Is Us, that crooked smile, it's very handsome and charming. He is on Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
he just disappeared.
yeah, we love
comes back, though.
I am Team Jess though for sure, and Logan. But anyways, I am in the movie. I am Team Edward. Because Jacob, again, the pouty boys, like, it's kind of annoying. Like, he was kind of a little pouty.
Well, he was so young.
Yeah, so he's pouty.
Yeah.
So remember when we were out at Grammy and Papa's house?
Oh, I forgot about
and
this.
You guys found out where
We
He
found
lived?
So Jordan was Team Jacob.
Well, I was team both.
Yeah, she
I
liked
loved how
both.
they brought it all together.
But
It was perfect.
Jordan loved Taylor Lautner as like an actor, like and a boy. And so we were out at our grandparents' house who lived in California, and we knew that Taylor Lautner lived in.
Well, I paid for his address.
Well, we knew what town he lived in.
Yeah.
So we were nearby the town. So Jordan paid for his address, and then we drove by the house.
And it was his because, like, we even found a picture of him with the car that he was driving, and that
And it
car
was
was
at the
outside
house.
of the house,
Yes.
and it was just like
That's the creepiest thing we've ever done. But it was so fun. And I just remember the rush we got. We were like, "Ah," and we like all hid in the
It
car.
was so
And
cute.
Dad's like, this is all we're doing, driving by. Like, that's all.
And then we went to the mall and you guys spoke in a British accent the whole time we were
Yes.
there. You guys are very weird.
Yeah, it was fun. What were you,
fun.
Ashton?
Oh, this is my own hot take. I was not a fan of Twilight. I know. I'm so sorry to disappoint. Jordan and I disagreeing on everything so far. I was not into Twilight. My friends tried to talk me into a midnight premiere that I don't think I attended. I was not interested at all. The girl in the movie I thought was very annoying.
She is. We can all agree on that. None of us like her.
So I didn't understand why
Casey.
either of them wanted to end up with her, to be honest.
I remember when we were, because Aunt Tony loved that movie, and
Yeah.
she just loved Bella's dad, and I'm like,
Yes.
all right, so these are the two playing.
But I guess if I was just as a teenager, I was going to say
teeny bopper.
a teeny bopper. I was about to say that. But I mean, back then it was like, who do you think is cuter? I definitely thought Taylor Lautner was much cuter than.
But also, I feel
Yeah.
like this is like we totally did these judgments from the movies.
Yeah.
you had to read the book.
That's true. The books were very romantic. I will say. Way more than
whoever
the
did
movies.
Gilmore Girls probably made the
It's
movies.
really funny that I wasn't into Twilight. I liked Harry Potter. I probably would have gone to a midnight Harry Potter premiere.
See,
but
we weren't
not
allowed to watch
Twilight.
Harry Potter.
You were allowed to watch Twilight.
Well, yeah,
Potter was before
And you guys watched
Twilight.
Family Guy together.
Wait a minute.
I never
First of
watched
all-
Family Guy. I judged my family like
Oh yeah, Jordan wouldn't even wear. Never mind. I was gonna say
Galen, oh, this is funny.
these things. First of all, didn't Harry Potter came out way before Twilight? So we
Okay,
have
yeah,
to
like
take
2004.
reasons- yeah. So by that time, you guys could have
But
watched.
the thing was, Harry Potter was like 7 movies long. The first one came out when we were in like 5th grade.
Yeah.
And the last one was high school.
Yeah.
I saw the last one.
But this is so
Right.
funny
Saw
because
the last one.
I'm not, just to preface, we are not letting Cooper watch Harry Potter yet, obviously. But he saw like a picture of it and
Gosh,
he's
the
like,
costumes.
Yeah, please don't.
he was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, that's Harry Potter. And he goes, am I allowed to watch Harry Potter? And Galen goes, I'm not even allowed to watch Harry Potter. You can
See, we're
ask
holding
Mimi
on to
about
that, Mom. We're not allowed to watch it.
Wait a minute. Going back to Twilight, I can't remember what this was all about, but didn't Nan put together a book for you?
Okay, so Midnight Sun. It was Stephanie Meyer who wrote the book, all the book series. She started writing Midnight Sun, which was the 5th book, and it was from Edward's
but it
point
was
of view.
Twilight.
It was the Twilight, but from Edward's point of view. And then it got leaked. Half of the book got leaked. And then she said, I am not even going to finish this book until everyone's forgotten about it. and it was heartbreaking. So I literally had Nan print out the entire half of the book, bind it and everything. So I had half of Midnight Sun, like bound and everything.
Yes.
And then
With the cover.
just like, was it 2 years ago?
Do you like the
Yep.
boss from Devil's Wears Prada?
Yes, getting the manuscript. Yes. So, and then like 2 years ago, she just released Midnight Sun.
I have Midnight
that's
Sun
too
sitting
funny.
in my bathtub. I'm reading it.
Yeah. So
So
weird.
the movie? It's not a
No,
movie.
it's,
not a
it's
movie.
the book Twilight, but written from Edward's point of view.
Okay, so there's going to
Which
be a movie.
fun fact
We'll
about
see.
me, if there's any book that is from the male's point of view, oh, I love it so much. It's way more romantic. Because I just love hearing, like, inside of their brain, like, being in love. Like, it's so
So
sweet.
Stephanie's version of what was inside of his
Yeah, it was a woman writing.
I was going to say, guys, inside their brain is not super romantic. I can't imagine.
I know, but that's what I know. Okay.
All right,
okay.
next.
Hang on. Did we have anything else about Twilight? No.
That's fine.
That was
Someone told me once I looked like the friend from Twilight, which
Oh,
is
Anna
Kendrick.
Kendrick. Yeah,
So-
Ashton definitely resembles Anna
Yeah, I
Kendrick.
can totally see that.
Yeah, that is that friend. Anna Kendrick like got a bigger
She's
career from
cute.
Twilight than like anyone else did in those movies. Because like Jared Lautner really wasn't in anything much after that.
he was
Like,
in
a few
Valentine's
things.
Day.
That's
So
a
was
great
Taylor
movie.
Swift. At least I remember he was in that with Taylor Swift.
So he's just dating Taylor.
I feel like he
That's
was
like
in
his
something
thing.
else.
That's so funny. Yeah, well, he was in his own movie, but it just wasn't like it didn't really. I don't know. I don't want to like diss on him. I love him.
Oh,
Okay.
he was in Cheaper by the Dozen, but that was
This, like,
before
the third
Twilight. And he was
And
in,
Abduction.
according to
Abduction, that's
Cooper,
the movie.
which not according to Cooper, I had watched it because of Cooper. He was in Shark Boy and Lava Girl. So
Oh yeah, he's Shark Boy. Yes, I totally forgot about that. Okay, I'm going to bring one that isn't on the papers.
Ooh.
That we got a last minute one. Co-sleeping is less intense than people make it seem.
Ooh.
Co-sleeping.
wants to go first.
I'm 100% on co-sleeping. I just like my sleep, so
Yes. Yeah.
that makes it easy for me. I breastfed, so it was just roll over
So
this
you
way,
agree
roll
that
over
it's
that
less
way.
intense than people make it seem?
Oh yeah, I mean when
We might all agree.
Yeah.
So I'm just so different with the way I like. I remember, I don't know if it was you guys, but I'm pretty sure it was one of you that was always so afraid you're gonna roll over on the baby. I'm like, who rolls over on their baby? Nobody rolls over on your baby. You know the baby's there. You're a light sleeper. You have your boob out most of the time. You're feeding
That's
the baby.
true, yeah.
You're just like, that's not gonna ever
Yes.
happen. I promise you, it's not gonna
You
happen.
don't sleep deeply enough to.
Even though you get your sleep, you do not
Yeah.
sleep too that.
yeah.
It's not that.
I think as a new mom, I probably was a little nervous
Yeah,
about
I mean,
that.
we're all a little nervous.
But like now with Cooper and Blair, I used like with Cooper it was like the cheap version of the DockATot.
Yes.
And then I bought like a gently used DockATot with Blair, and I feel like that kind of took away all like my anxiety because it is like a little barrier.
Yeah.
But I do agree it's less intense.
Yeah,
I feel like it.
sleeping.
And
No,
if
we
you
didn't
are,
have DockATots when
yeah, if
you
you're a
guys were young.
breastfeeding mom, I feel like it definitely made things much easier,
Yes.
like in the middle of the night. So I wasn't concerned about that,
No. And, like,
especially with Blair. With Cooper, I had like a little bit more concern because it was new. I hadn't done it before,
yeah.
and I was a brand new mom. But we quickly like moved into that. And
Yeah, when Galen turned 10, we told him he couldn't sleep with us.
See, I was gonna say, and it doesn't last forever. They don't sleep in your bed
Just
forever.
kidding. But there's definitely those times where you're like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
We are done.
Yeah.
You have to sleep in your own room now. You get to a certain age, and that every kid is very different for
I'm
that.
like when that is.
when
Yeah.
that is, and you'll know. I mean,
Yeah,
no,
I
there's
think
not
every
a
kid is. There's literally with parenting,
Right.
And there's no one size fits all. That's why like the co-sleeping argument and things people will have against it, or like
It's
sleep
just
training.
what works for
it really
you.
is what works for you.
Yeah.
And like
Makes you
if
feel
you're
comfortable.
like a mom who like gets aggravated and like has bad feelings co-sleeping, then that's not for you because that
Right.
is definitely something that some
I mean,
people
it's
struggle
amazing.
with.
I'll see women will be like, "Oh yeah, they sleep all night long in their crib from day two."
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm
"Wow,
like,
that's
wow.
awesome. I don't know how you did
Good,
it, but
yeah.
that's great. Great for you." But we literally struggled because Galen just didn't want to sleep in his own room.
Mm-hmm.
So when we finally put our foot down, I said, "Hey, you can come in our room, but you have to make a pillow bed.
Yeah.
You can sleep on the floor next to my bed, And that's what we did. We called it a pillow bed. He just came in and he was like, because he just breathed so loud, and we'd be laying in bed and we'd be giggling because you can hear him making the pillow bed, and then he'd lay there.
I was like, yep, that's the same thing.
That's so funny,
Jordan's remaining quiet. I'm like,
Yeah, like Blair was in the dog tot, and then shortly after that, we moved her to what is that cool bassinet?
The Halo.
The Halo.
yeah.
And like once she started sleeping longer stretches, we moved to the Halo just so that like I had a couple hours where like it was just Galen and I, which was nice. And then eventually we moved her to a crib. But Cooper lasted
The one thing I will say though, that like the one argument that I don't like about co-sleeping is, what about like your sex life?
Oh, yeah, that never suffered.
Yes. No. There are so many other places in your house that you are able to do it.
Yes.
I promise.
Yeah.
You'll find a way.
And if they're little, you can still do it with them in your bed. It's not like they're like.
No.
I mean, if they're sleeping and like tiny, they
You know
don't
what?
know.
I'll tell you what. Follow your husband's lead, because I'll guarantee he's not worried about the baby in the bed.
Yeah.
The moms are the ones that are worried about
Yeah.
it. Just
Plus it's
relax.
like,
relax.
other places
Enjoy
in your
it. Other
house.
places.
Yeah. And that was like, so for me, I
Got a closet.
breastfed Chip, so like it was nice to have him sleep with me because it was just so much easier. Like I don't want to be getting up, like that's just not. And for me, it was like more of I didn't want Chip to be in between us because I like to snuggle. So my solve for that was I'm just gonna buy like a baby bumper and I put it on the side of the bed so that I still got to sleep next to Carson, and then Chip was there and he wouldn't fall off. That was great. Like that was really awesome. And then when he started getting older, I stopped nursing him. I was like, well, we can put him in his room. He slept in a crib for a long time. He'd get pretty good stretches and then he'd come into our bed. And then when we transitioned him out of a crib into a toddler bed, he pretty much only sleeps with us. We start him in his big boy bed. He comes in around midnight every night, and I'm like, that's honestly fine. Because,
they're not going to do this forever.
They're not going to do that forever. And it's sweet to get to cuddle him. And it's like, it's really a sweet thing. I'm like, I don't mind. It's like you kind of go through seasons of like wanting to do something, and then you realize, what's the point? Like, I like co-sleeping.
And that's why I think that there's so much out there, like sleep training and everything. If you do sleep training, awesome. Like I think that's awesome. But it just really goes back to like whatever works for you. And like if you want to co-sleep but you feel guilty to co-sleep, like let this be a reminder that it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about what you do.
Is anyone else sleeping in your bed? No. It's
Because,
you and your
It's true.
family.
We've had like stretches for over the past 5 years where like nobody's in our room, but then there's stretches where like our bedroom is musical beds at night, and it's like, and I've just chosen to be like, however anyone sleeps right now. I don't just let me sleep. I don't care. And like especially having babies, like co-sleeping just really works well. I literally don't deal with the whole like when I have a new baby, they just sleep at night because they're right next to me, and I just put my boob in their mouth whenever they're ready.
As Darius Rucker says, it won't be like this for long.
See,
That's right.
Cry.
Just enjoy. Just enjoy your kids. Don't overthink everything.
All
do
the
what
reels,
works for
you
you.
only have 18 summers. Like, okay, then just let them sleep in your bed. It's fine. It's less intense.
If you want.
If you want. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Everyone
So
knows.
what is that called?
So
that
co-sleeping is less intense than
that you
people
just
make
said.
it seem. Agreed.
What was the? Because I did change things a little bit with you two, where I did do the time
Sleep training.
Sleep training.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So I did do that.
Me and Jordan
I know what you-
co-slept our entire lives.
You did a certain
It
a
wasn't-
method.
It was a
cry it out.
method. I don't know exactly.
Jordan, like,
And that's why I messed up. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I'll just tell you. I don't know what it's called. It's been a really long time.
A lot of people use, which I used with Blair to get her to sleep in her crib, but it was called taking care of babies.
Yes.
And it was like you would.
I used that too.
They would like essentially what I did was she would cry for a couple minutes. I'd go and check on her, and that lasted for like a couple of days. But those checks would like let her know that mom like here. And
you're not like abandoning them. That's what I did with Chip too. When I stopped breastfeeding him and put him in a crib, he slept most of the night in there. I remember those few months, and then that's when I was like, oh my gosh, she's doing so good. Let's change the whole routine. And that's when everything changed.
You
So
told me about yours, and I liked it.
what this was called, but I'll just cut to just one of the things. I'm not going to bore everybody. But for instance,
Oh, thank
I would
God.
go, yeah. So for instance, I would lay you down for your nap. I would feed you. First of all, let's back it up. I would feed you. Then you were allowed to stay up for 2 hours. And then you laid down and you slept for 2 hours. Then when you wake up, I would feed you. You got to play for 2 hours and so on. So what would happen is I would feed you. I could be gone for 4 hours. So I would leave you with Nan and I would go and hang out with Dad and do stuff. And then literally while I'm out, I'd feel my milk let down and I'm like, oh.
That's just a sleep schedule.
Yeah, so it was a sleep schedule, and I never knew that existed. But when someone told me to try it, and I did it, it was
It's a whole hot take in and of itself.
Yeah. So it worked great for me. I'll tell you. I know a lot of people don't like that. I don't really care. It worked really good for me. And then,
Like I said, everything for everyone.
Yeah,
That's
we do.
the
But the
point of
first
being a
time-
parent. It is not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Right.
And that's the problem with social media, because moms, we just look at stuff all day and we're like, we see people making sourdough bread all day long on our things and we're like, wow, that looks so nice, and she makes bread for her family. So I tried it. I hated that.
Yeah.
That was the most unrelaxing thing I've ever done. That just goes to show you, not everything is for
I also
everybody.
would-
Same with parenting.
with my first
you know?
one, I was on-demand nurser.
Yes.
I was never away. I was constantly nursing.
Yeah.
So that's why by the time
We've all
had to-
constantly nursed.
So that's
All
why
of
I
us
was
are
like,
big
oh,
nursers.
Yeah.
that's what happened.
I
That's
think-
why every kid's different. You're gonna do something different each time.
I think that this is like a quote someone told me that at the time it was like, I was applying it to Galen and my husband, but I think it can be applied to moms. Leaders don't often need to know what to do. They need to have the courage to do what they already know they need to do. It's the same with moms.
Yeah.
Most of the time you know what you need to do for your family. You know what's going to work for your family. You just need to have the courage to do it. You don't need someone else telling you another way or telling you a million different ways to do something. You just need to trust like your motherly instinct to do
Yes.
what's best for your family and really just forget about what everyone else is going to say.
Yes, and if anyone in your circle is making you feel guilty about choices you're making for your kid, that is not cool. Just listen to your gut.
And
Because
if they offered you advice, normally it's from like
a good place. Yeah.
so it doesn't mean you have to take it.
Right.
I receive it with grace, like understand they're coming from a good place, but it doesn't mean that you have to do something just because someone else is telling you to do it.
True.
Right. Everyone knows. Every kid you have has such a unique personality. They all are different, so you can't treat every kid the same way.
It's true. Okay, less serious, real quick, because this one should be quick. Chick-fil-A is overrated.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
What?
Yeah.
Jordan's really.
I can't even tell you the last time I ate at Chick-fil-A.
When's the last time you ate, like, really anywhere?
I like Habit Burger. I've had Habit Burgers.
Mom does go to Habit Burger a lot.
She does.
$5 burger that
She
tastes
likes
like
the
a
one.
$14
She likes the
burger.
one with the pineapple on it.
Oh my gosh, that's so my
Teriyaki pineapple.
Jordan's like stress tapping.
They're like $5.
But it's a burger.
It's good.
But
Chick-fil-A is chicken
it's a chicken
sandwiches.
sandwich. It's not the
Man,
same
I don't
thing.
know. It just doesn't
I will
taste
say
right.
I am always hungry after I
right.
eat
What does
Chick-fil-A.
that mean? It doesn't
I don't
taste
know.
right.
I don't know. I just don't like it.
I'm always
I don't
hungry
like
after
the bun.
I finish eating.
You
Like
know-
Chick-fil-A, like I like the char grilled chicken sandwich.
On the
I need,
multigrain?
Yeah, like I need 2 of them at least.
Yeah, see, I don't.
I'm always really
I
hungry.
decided,
after.
I'm like, I don't think I like the bun with all the stuff. So then I would get the tenders. And then I'm
Their
like,
customer service is unmatched. Sometimes
is.
it seems a bit much. Like when we go in there,
They got
I
that,
told Jordan,
for
so
sure.
Jordan orders the kids whenever we go get adjusted, she gets them lunch at Chick-fil-A, but I always go in to get it. There's just so many people working. It's a little overwhelming at sometimes because I'm like, who do I go to? There's so many, and they're all like so just like, you know, Chick-fil-A. It's my pleasure.
so nice.
I'm like, all right, who do I talk to? And then you got like 5 of them coming up to you. I'm like, are y'all communicating together? Do I need to retell you this? It's a lot, but it's all very nice. It's always a good experience.
Oh, yeah.
I can go without eating Chick-fil-A though.
yeah.
I mean, we have.
The one thing that
I
they
haven't
used
had
to
Chick-fil-A in
have
years.
that they no longer have was this shredded carrot salad, and it had raisins
Yes.
in it. And
Of
it
course,
was
that is
so
what you
the
would want
shredded
to
carrot
order.
salad with raisins.
It was so good, and they stopped selling that. See, they have a kale salad now.
So, like, on the chicken subject, people go to Cane's, which I do not understand.
I would 100% go to Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah. Because Cane's doesn't have an option for unfried. Everything is
Yeah,
fried.
but I mean, like, if I'm gonna venture out to Chick-fil-A, I'm getting the original chicken sandwich with the
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A. I don't know, just because
Their sauces.
I don't go there very often. So mainly because I try to like make more healthful decisions. No judgment if you go to Chick-fil-A a lot,
but it's still fast food.
But like, if I'm gonna go there, I want to get something I'm like thoroughly going to enjoy, and it would be the like original chicken sandwich with the waffle fries and the sausage.
Honestly, if
I don't like waffle fries.
See, if I'm going to fast food, I'm going to In-N-Out Burger every day.
In-N-Out
Nothing
Burger,
else
extra
competes
crispy
with
fries.
me. Yeah,
Again, it's a burger.
but it's fast food. I'm talking about fast food.
I'm talking about French fries.
I'm not going out for a chicken sandwich. Usually,
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
But if I have to go out anywhere, currently my favorite spot is Peoria Artisan Brewery.
yes. If you're in our area,
Peoria,
it's very
give
good.
it a try.
Or Cantina Gueros.
Yes, that's
Perfect
good too.
health score rating.
Yeah, Jordan just told me, she goes, they have a perfect health score, and she goes,
Where's that?
Right here.
Lake Pleasant, Happy Valley.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Cantina Gueros.
That's where they make the charred pineapple salsa.
It's so good. Yes.
So I've only been to, and I'm going to say it wrong because I'm not
Cool.
really sure.
Can't wait.
Okay. It's the Mexican restaurant that's over by CCV, right next to Sun.
Mochilero.
Okay. I walked in there one time only, and the smell was amazing.
I've never eaten.
I need to go there.
Oh, I was like,
I said we should
ooh.
go there for our next girls' night.
I want the meat, whatever the meat is that you have here
get
that
a
smells like
designated
that.
driver and then go to Mochilero.
And it did not disappoint. It was so delicious.
That sounds so
I want to
good.
go back there.
Shout out.
Yes.
Okay, let's do one more of these. Actually, we'll do two. Quickly. Let's talk about the sunscreen is not beneficial for your skin, because I do have an opinion on this. And then
My whole life, I've never worn sunscreen.
yeah.
There has been occasions where people say, "Ooh, you're getting red. You better put some on." And then I'll be like, "Okay, where is it?" And I'll put it on.
Yes.
I usually don't go out with sunscreen, and it's just, to be honest with you, it's more of a lazy thing, and it's also because sunscreen is so damn expensive. So I'm like,
It is so well.
I'm like,
Sunscreen
I'm
in
fine.
general, I think
I'm fine.
I get the protecting yourself from the sun. I understand there's like health things. The sun is very good for you, but then like too much exposure, obviously we know all those things. But just generally speaking, most people use just regular old like copper tone or
Right.
one of the brands, and they're loaded with stuff that you should not be putting on your skin. Your skin is the biggest organ of your body that absorbs everything. There's so many hormone disruptors in all those things, and like aerosol, for example, that's like a huge thing, is the aerosol sunscreen. Aerosol is not good for you. So
Right.
just health benefits wise, you're choosing kind of, the lesser of two
Right.
evils. I think limiting your sun exposure without sunscreen is more beneficial than putting chemicals directly on your skin.
So-
especially with kids.
when I saw this question come
Personally.
across, I'm like, ooh, I don't wear sunscreen,
Yeah.
but this must be a big thing.
Yeah.
So it
SPF is a huge thing with people.
Well, being a 3, I felt like, ooh, I got to know what this is, what
Yeah,
they're
she
talking about.
researched.
So I had to research it to
Yeah.
understand what the big deal was about it. And there are sunscreens out there that you can get that
Absolutely.
that
there
are safe.
definitely good ones that you should buy.
So I don't want to advertise any of them because I don't know, but you can. There was a lot. I found a lot of them on there. So I would say if you're concerned with it, then yeah, go get sunscreens that are safer
What is
than
it?
others.
Is it beta carotene? Isn't that what you're supposed to eat? I think it's like beta carotene.
I think it goes back to the simple concept of like everything that you're buying off of a shelf at a store, medicine, food, whatever it is that it's going to be on your body or in your body, you need to read the ingredients and you need to understand like what that could potentially do to your body.
Yep.
We just aren't very good in general about like reading ingredients.
Well, we just trust marketing
and
too.
understanding
Yeah.
what those ingredients could potentially do.
Exactly.
So,
That's like a big thing. I don't
Yeah.
wear sunscreen. I don't put sunscreen on chip. I just limit exposure.
yeah,
And
because some sun exposure without any protectant is good.
Yeah,
it's
it is
beneficial for your body. You need sunlight exposure.
Yeah.
Especially morning sun.
Yes, morning
Different-
sun is good.
Different types of the day too.
But yeah, that's just one of those things. If you are a big sunscreen person, just look at the ingredients and buy ones that are good for you. There are plenty of them.
Just Google it.
Yeah,
There's a
just
lot.
look them up. There's some really good ones, but that's like something where I think people just trust marketing too much and will just put anything on because they think that. And I think also, I could be wrong, but they say that like past a certain SPF, it's like not even like
Right.
It's like above
Yes.
35 or something is actually just 35.
Right.
But they just did some marketing
it
thing.
said something like that too.
Anyways, okay, let's do last one. Oh wait, no, there's. I like these two. Let's just keep these ones a little shorter.
Okay.
Okay. Hats in church. Yes or no? This is in regards to I think, like leadership wearing hats
Probably
on
just
stage.
in general, both. I
And
think.
okay, just
Yeah.
people in church wearing hats. I have a different opinion than I know Ashton does. I do not care. I understand that's a form of respect where you like take your hat off, but for me, and I was talking to my brother about this, and he was like, you would notice if you were going to meet someone and they took their hat off before like shaking your hand, you would be like, wow, that was really respectful. I agree with that completely. But for some reason, just like the hats in church, I'm not bothered by that at all. I think
Yeah.
probably because I'm like, I know it's a fashion thing. I've worn hats in church before, and I'm just, I think I do notice a difference when people take it off, and I maybe think that, but I'm not bothered.
So I'm with you. I do not, I don't pass any judgment. I'm not bothered by it.
Yeah.
I don't even think twice about it. But if I see a young man or gentleman take their hat off, I'm like, ooh, dang, that is a gentleman.
Yeah.
Like that is somebody that gets it.
Yeah.
And they get extra points, even though I may not voice it or say it. You know how you just think things?
Yeah.
I'm like, they have the right to wear the hat, but they chose to be respectful, and I know it's rooted,
Yeah.
you know, it's from old times, but it's still, like you said, if someone was to come up to you and hold the door for you,
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh, what a gentleman, because you don't get that very much anymore.
Right.
Right? That stands out. It's the same thing with taking your hat off.
Yeah.
So, especially when you see young kids do it, I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, I
I
want
think
to
it's
go.
good
I want to
manners
go
to
over to
teach
them and
people.
just say
Yeah.
something to them. Say, you know what,
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
so cool that you did that. Just to
Yeah.
encourage them, because, we live in a society that, you just do whatever you want. You can.
It's true.
It's
Ashton,
okay.
what do you think?
I guess my opinion, I think that, like, particularly in church, I want everyone who attends that church, the whole body of the church, to be comfortable and to be comfortable in that setting. I don't think you lose anything by not wearing the hat. I do think that you could potentially make older generations feel less comfortable when you choose to wear the hat, because for them, that was something that was very much a level of respect that you have and a reverence that you have when you step into a place of worship, that you take your hat off.
Yeah.
So I think it could be a huge turn off to an older generation, but it's not going to offend a younger generation if you don't wear the hat.
Yeah,
So I don't really see the point in wearing the hat. I also think, as a mom who's raising a son, I think that if we want to get back to a time and a place in society where our men are having that level of masculinity that we appreciate and that level of respect that we appreciate, then we have to teach our young kids that.
Yeah.
And that's a simple way to teach our boys how to show respect and how to display masculine behavior. So why wouldn't we teach that? I just think that the small things add up. So if we let one thing go, we're gonna let the next thing go and the next thing go, and it's just a house of cards that's gonna come crashing down, and suddenly we don't have any standards.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm offended by it. I just think that there's something that I appreciate about valuing
Right.
those types of behaviors.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you said that so perfectly. That is perfect how you said all that. I agree 100%. I also think that if you're a parent raising a son that wants to wear a hat to church, at church is not the place to teach it to him either.
Yeah.
I don't want you to make him feel embarrassed when he's at church. This is something that is handled at home, and then he's excited to show you what he learned by taking his hat off. Like that those are cool things that's gonna make him feel more like a man than if you chastise him in church.
Well, I don't, like, I hope I didn't project this in how I said things. I think that no matter what, like, Jesus wants everyone to feel like they can come to church.
Right.
I heard a pastor once say that he was talking to a woman, and she said she didn't feel comfortable going to church on Sunday because she didn't have anything she felt like she could wear. And he said, if you come, I'm going to wear jeans on Sunday on stage so that you feel comfortable. And he's worn jeans every Sunday since.
Yes.
So my point isn't about saying that, like, you can't wear what you want to church, or that, like, somehow it's frowned upon. That's not my feelings. I think Jesus wants everybody to be at church no matter what you're wearing. But I do think that there's something that's cool about teaching your boys something that shows
and I think that's
like respect and reverence for God.
I think it's like the reason why I have my opinion is because it's not necessarily from a mom's point of view, because we are raising Chip to be like more of a gentleman. But I look at it as like, I'm like, Jesus says, come as you are. So it's like, I don't want, whenever there's some sort of like rule in quotes, like, I'm like, that will automatically make someone feel uncomfortable who was never taught those values. So it's like, I never want someone to feel like, oh, well, I can't wear a hat in church. I'm like, you can come literally without shoes on and it's fine. You know, like, that's where like my opinion comes from, which is pretty much my opinion on most things.
But, so I guess I see both sides, but I thought, why not for like the sake of this, just share
everything
like
you said
both
was so
sides.
good. After every single episode so far, so 2, my mom goes, Ashton just talks so good. I just love listening to
your thoughts.
I'm like,
we just love it.
I obviously don't want it to come across.
No, you didn't. You did so good.
Come if you wear a hat.
You did so good. Here's one. Ashton says you can come to our church without a hat. Or with a hat. Okay, so this next one, we'll do our last hot take. Crunchy mom culture means well, but sometimes is really toxic.
Ooh. Yes,
100% agree. Jordan, do you have any? You haven't talked in a minute, so I'm just gonna put you on the spot.
I mean, I feel like in any type of culture of something going around, fad type thing or whatever it may be, health culture, crunchy culture, anything can be too much and can get to a point of like where you become very prideful in whatever it is that you're trying to bring across, and you can lose the purpose of like what you're even trying to do. And I think that comes across very much in crunchy mom culture, because just like, I guess prideful is the best thing, and just thinking that your way is the only way, your way is the best way, and like we can always do more. Like, where you just get to a point where you feel like you're never going to even get to the peak of crunchy mom. Because like there's always something more that you can be doing, and to where like I've seen it around so many times, it's like you're literally like, one of the worst things that we can do for our bodies is stress. And by trying to attain all of the things that crunchy culture like wants you to attain, like you're literally probably like either like equaling it out or even being worse on your body. I don't know how to say that correct, but like the effects of trying so hard is actually just putting your body under so much stress.
And you're doing it to yourself.
And you're doing it to yourself.
Because you're going to be like so outspoken one day on fragrance, and then you're going to be like, but I kind of want to buy this, and it has fragrance in it. I can't do that because I've already said all this stuff. It's like everyone needs to just kind of step down on their soapbox a little bit, live how you want, but also give yourself margin in life, because nobody's perfect. And I think that's like the huge thing. It's like, oh, if you say one thing, you can never go back on that. And like, women are vicious with stuff like that too. So I think you have to give yourself like grace and be like, okay, this is the extent of my crunchiness, whatever you want to call it. And also appreciate other women for doing some things, because there are some women and moms who I'm like, wow, that's amazing they do that. There is no way. I saw a reel this morning that was like a mom who woke up to make like biscuits like from scratch for her family before church. And I was like, oh, there is no way I will ever wake up to make biscuits before church from scratch. And I'm like, and that's okay, because that's her thing, and it's like, it's good. But that's why, like, you just have to have that like non-competitive edge too in that culture, because everyone wants to be the cleanest and the best, like, you know, at everything. It's like, it's okay. Like, I'm pretty clean in a lot of things, but like, there's things I'm not also, and that's okay, because we're all gonna die. We can't, like, you know, like that whole like that culture is like living the most clean, toxic free life, and I'm like, we're all gonna die eventually, regardless of how many candles or not you have in your house. You know what I mean? Right. And I know there's so many more things to that, but I just think everyone needs to like chill a little bit, a little bit.
Yeah.
And like not be competitive with other moms too, because that's like, I think the competition in that arena is a lot. And it's like, just relax.
Like, kindness is always more important than being right, I think.
It's true. And you're more approachable if you're not. Like, I would rather a woman be comfortable with talking to me about things rather than be like, oh, she doesn't do that though, so like I don't want to like bring that up, you know, or like ask her advice. It's like, oh, she's very against that, you know. Like, I don't ever want people to think, oh, she's against this.
Right.
And I think a lot of times
that's like you guys have always said, you, Jordan, Galen, like, it's more important to be known what you're for than what you're against. You're always going to bring more people to you that way. Like, I would like to more be a person that people want to be around, that are gravitated towards, and then build a relationship, and if they have questions, they can feel free to ask them. But I don't want to be someone that like turns people off with my, like, just how I am about certain things. It's kind of that whole concept of like, people want to know that you care before they care to know what you know. They want to know that like you care about them. And so I think, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. That's, I think, how everyone should live. It's like, you just want to love people.
Like, even when you go to, like, think about when you go to a doctor's office. Like, it is so refreshing when you walk in and you recognize that the people in that office that are working there care about you and your family, versus you're just another person walking through the door that they don't know, that they don't care about. And you are so much more likely to listen to that professional, that doctor, that nurse, that assistant, if you feel that way.
It's so true. It's true. I love it. And even just being someone who can be friends with people who don't even share the same, as we talk about opinions, you can be friends with people and love people that disagree with you, and that's okay. That is the beauty of like being a human. You don't want to agree with everybody on everything. Everyone has different perspectives because everyone was raised differently. Everyone comes from different places, and that's a really awesome
Galen
thing.
will intentionally tell me that he listens to people who he disagrees with, because he thinks it's important to understand, at least have an understanding of the other side. Right? Like, you don't agree with it. He goes into it knowing, like, I'm not going to agree with anything this person has to say, because I already have an established view, but I at least want to, like, see what their, why they view, how they view things.
Right. Exactly. And you can still love people, even sometimes more, when they don't agree with you.
Sometimes when you do listen to what people have to say that are so different than you, it kind of warms your heart a little bit, because you look at them and you go, you know what, that's a person just like me. They were raised so differently than I was. How could I expect them to think like I do when they were raised completely different than me? You know, and
have had different things happen in their life,
experiences in their life, all these things. And I know that you all were raised with all this social media, and I wasn't raised that way. We didn't have social media. And for the beginning part of your life, you guys didn't have social media either. Especially like when I was raising you, there was no social media. So I didn't have any of this that is going on right now. What we would have is we would get together for Bible studies or luncheons or whatever it is, and we would just kind of get together like-minded, and so what's working for you? What's working for you?
Wait, slower.
Hashtag get back to community.
And it was like, that's not working. And then we'd pick up the phone and we'd be like, shoot, that didn't work for me. What else can I try?
Yes.
You know, and this is how we did it. And I'm grateful for those
That's how they
days.
did it for all of time until now.
Yeah, like I
That's
never
the only
ever
different
saw
time.
the other side of the
Yep.
fence. I
Yeah.
never saw people moving and starting farms and chickens
Yeah.
and homemade bread and all these sort of things. We just, I didn't see all that to make me feel like I had to do it.
But it's just, everything.
I mean, I
in
just
excess is-
developed things myself. You know, I did my own thing, and
true.
and people followed and did things with me, and I did things with them. It was
A better time, you're saying.
a little better, yeah, a lot less stress, and people just, I feel like, enjoyed it.
Yes.
Home life a little bit more.
I know, just easier. Okay, does anyone have something that they want to share that God has been teaching you, or something that you're walking through right now? Anyone want to share anything?
I will if you want me
I
to.
can go after Jordan.
Yeah,
She can go
just
first.
because, like, this is a good way if people are going through stuff,
Well,
relate
it is
to.
funny because like I was thinking about this and I was like, God, what is it that I'm supposed to share? And I was just like kind of going back and forth about things that I have been like thinking about lately, and I think that like something that I'm really learning, and like you kind of, I'm gonna bring up what you showed me this week, but the gist of what I've been learning is that like healing is not a just like linear or just uphill type of journey. It's something that like it's gonna go up and then it's gonna go down and it's gonna go up and it's go down, but like at the end of the day, right, you're still healing through it all. And I think that like I've been struggling with this, and it was really helpful for Darren to like point out this thing in a devotional that she was showing me about how like that's how it's supposed to be. Like, and where this comes from is that like I pretty much my entire adult life have like struggled with anxiety and like crippling fear for a lot of things, a lot of reasons, but like it's kind of just the way of my life. And then it kind of hit a point after having Davey that like it got really, really bad to where it was like, okay, something needs to change. Like I can't live like this anymore. And so in January, I was like, what do? Something has to change. I can't live like this anymore. I ended up getting a mentor, got into counseling, started reading a bunch of books, got a hormone doctor to walk alongside of me, and like started reaching out to people, like literally throwing like everything at it, because like you guys can attest that like I was just like, I can't live like this anymore, and I am just not doing well. And by doing all of this, I was like, oh my goodness, like Lord, like you are completely changing my life. Like everything is so great. Like I wasn't having anxiety attacks anymore. Like this black hole that I was living in completely was just like light, and it was just amazing.
That's so cool.
And which is just amazing. And I'd love to talk to you if you feel anxious or anything, like talk to me. I want to talk to you about
Send
it.
Jordan a message.
Yeah,
She
because
really does
I love to talk about
tell
stuff like this.
people.
And she's like the easiest person to talk to.
You're so sweet.
Don't be afraid.
Thank you.
Yes.
I might cry with you, but like I'd love to just hug you and like talk to you about what I've been doing. But all of a sudden, it was like the past couple weeks, I like fell back into this like this old pattern, and I started like I've had a couple anxiety attacks again, and I'm like, what is happening? Like I got discouraged, I think is the best way, because I'm like, I was doing so good. Like now, like all hope is lost, because if it's not continuing to go up and healing, then I'm getting worse, and I'm gonna go back to where I was. Like I can't go back there. And it was just like such a hopeless and discouraging feeling, I think. And through talking to like my mentor and talking to Darren and Brett, it was just kind of like, like healing is not like gonna always look like a good day every single day. You have like hormones, you have things going on in your life that like you're still healing, and that doesn't mean that all hope is lost, and that you're not like gonna be better off, and that you're not like tomorrow you're gonna wake up and you might have a good day, you might have another hard day, but like you still are making progress in everything.
Well, that's what she says in the devotional. She says healing is a combination of progress and regress.
Yeah.
And I think that was what stuck out to me, because I knew she was having like fear, because she felt like she was like backsliding, and I'm like, it is true. It seems like you're backsliding, but it's just progress and regress, because you're unlearning and growing and healing through all those things.
It's true. And then like I was talking to like my mentor about this the other day, because I was letting her know all of this and how I was feeling, and she's like, you know, a lot of times God also will use like situations in life or like certain things that you go through to show you that you are stronger than you were before. Like if we don't ever have anything that comes and like tries to rattle us or anything, then like we can't. The best way to practice is by going through
then what's
it,
your
right?
measure?
What's the measure of if you're actually doing well or not? And so it was kind of cool, because then it gave me like this new strength of like, yeah, like I handled it a lot better this time, and I knew what to do because I had tools now this time when this happened, or like this topic triggered me. Like I knew what to do and I knew who to go to. And so like it was just like, it's just something that I think every day you learn a little bit more, and I just wanted to share that because like I think
that's
that
relatable. A lot of people are dealing with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a normal thing to go through, and it's normal to get discouraged, I think, and it's also normal that like once you think that you're doing really well, and then like a day comes and you're just like, I can't do this anymore. It's like, but no, like you're getting stronger every single day. You are like getting so much more capable than you were, and so
Yes, it feels like you lost progress, but you're still way further up the mountain than you were. You're
before.
not at day one. You're not at the base of the mountain. You're just at a little valley of the mountain. And that's, you have to kind of picture that. Yeah, that's what I told Jordan when I was telling her this. I was like, have you seen that Instagram drawing that someone posted? It's like this little girl climbing a mountain, and she's in the little dip of the mountain. And she goes, like, I feel like I'm like just lost progress, but she's still higher up on the mountain than when she started. So it's like we get so almost like we just are like, oh my gosh, we're just whoa, like my goodness. But it's like we're still making progress. It's just it's not a linear thing. So it's just a process. Thank you for sharing. That was very, very good. Ashton, do you want? You can go.
Go ahead.
Are you gonna go after me?
Sure, I'll go after you.
Are you? Or okay?
Do you have a lesson, Mom, that you're gonna share?
No.
Okay, Mom is not learning anything. All right, Ashton, you go.
I don't know. I was trying to reflect on this because I feel like multiple things, but I think the one I'll share is I think especially like in motherhood, and I don't know if it was necessarily with Cooper, but especially since having Blair, I think God is just always giving me reminders of my need for dependence on Him versus like trying to navigate life in my own, within myself and like within independence. And I think that like when we are it feels so often like we're so capable of handling situations and circumstances like on our own, and we live in a society that preaches like independence and being so self-sufficient, and I think that has there are good qualities within that, but life isn't supposed to be run independent from God. Like it's supposed to be run like His will being lived out, right? Like you're supposed to live out like God's will and be dependent on Him. And so I think motherhood, especially with two, is always reminding me of that, because I feel like I'm like, it would be impossible for me to be patient or to serve my family well if I wasn't constantly like relying on Him for what I need to live that out every single day. And I think it's really hard because like I am someone who I want to be productive. I always want to accomplish the next thing on my list. I always am trying to like progress forward, and He's like, no, like you need to let me kind of lead the way. And sometimes for me that looks like just being present in the moment with my kids and not looking ahead so much. So I think He's teaching me a lot about that too, which is that like time is very fleeting, and your kids, I think it hit me hard when Cooper turned 5, but it was like, wow, like he's not a baby anymore, and he's not a toddler anymore. Like he's a little boy, and before I know it, like he's going to be a teenager and he's going to be, so I just am trying to appreciate like the time that I have with them now when they're small and like be dependent on him for whatever I need, which is a lot of things every single day, especially emotionally. But he's good, and so
that's
just
so
trying
good.
to
I think that's a good reminder.
Remember that. Yeah,
that's good for all of us, honestly.
it's really hard.
Yeah, it is. For sure. Oh goodness, mine. It's not really like as deep as these two things, but it's just like a funny. I mean, everything's been like. I feel like my relationship with Christ right now has been very strong and like I'm in a really good place. However, I was reflecting also on like I'm the one who wrote down this topic. I'm like, let's share what we're learning. And I'm like, oh gosh, but what am I going to share? Like I literally am like, I have no idea. And this morning I was praying about it and I've just had like the same, I think, struggle. So I did 75 hard and that was like, it was a really good thing. But I feel like ever since like, I got emotional all of a sudden.
Oh, it's okay.
Hang on.
That's relatable too.
I know. So like, oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
We did it.
We did it. Okay, anyways. Okay, so ever since doing that, I've just like been struggling with like body image stuff because so I was gonna elaborate a little bit, but for not crying. So every day you have to take a picture of yourself and you're pretty much comparing your body to your body every single day. And it's just like, that's the focus of it. And I think like prior to doing 75 hard, like I love how I look. Like I'm really proud of myself. I work hard. Like nothing bad I've ever really thought about myself. And then after doing that, it's like, I wasn't happy because at the end of it, my after picture looked the same as the beginning. And so you kind of are like, oh, wait, what? Like, I'm like, every day I was looking at my body, just being critical of yourself because you're doing a challenge like that. And I'm like, I've been in a like funk ever since doing 75 hard. And I'm like, I really think it was because so much of the focus is on what you're looking like and you're changing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, for like a woman, I'm like, I don't think that's the healthiest situation because it's like, I was fine before and I didn't have this issue. And now ever since like ending that, it's like, I'm so critical of myself. And it's like, right now I'm like hormonal, so I'm about to start a period, so like I'm bloated anyways. But it's like, oh my gosh, do I just throw away all my clothes because none of them fit me? And like I was better before this and like all this stuff. But it's like, I think God right now is just showing me like, stop like focusing on yourself and just like look at me, like keep your eyes like on me, you know, just like don't stop looking at yourself because like, but that's what I was trained to do for like 75 days. Right. So it's like, and that 75 hard is all about habit building. So you're just in a habit and I must have got the wrong habit.
Like, so you're showing me some of your pictures though, and every single one of your pictures, not only are they so cute, but you were like peace signing it.
Because,
you're doing all this.
Because
if I showed you my pictures, you'd be feeling super good about yourself.
No, that is not true. I
was like looking like,
no,
okay, take it.
See, you look so good. It's just the thing. I think the act of like
I didn't
comparing your body to the body before, and like I would find myself like on day 20, like putting them side by side and being like, oh my gosh, like. There's just like, you know, whatever you're doing, just being critical. And it's like, that's so unhealthy. Like this program that was designed to like create good habits, I'm like, all it did for me was make me really critical of myself.
Yeah.
And it's harder too because I'm in a gym environment. So like body dysmorphia is already a thing. When you're surrounded by really fit people and strong people, it's nothing against strong and fit people. That's amazing. I'm one of them. I really believe I'm a strong and fit person.
Definitely are.
But even like I will talk to some of our friends at the gym and they are critical of themselves and we look at them like we're like, are you kidding me? What do you have to be? But it's because we're surrounded by body image centered things, and it's like if you're not careful, it will start to dictate you and you will start to see yourself through a different lens. And it's like that's where it becomes unhealthy and you have to really check yourself. And I'm like, I've been trying to figure out why I've been in a funk and I've been trying to like say it's other things, but I'm like, it's the focus on myself. And I'm like, I kid you not, I'm the first person to tell myself that I look good. I am like not ashamed of that. I'm like, I like my body, I like how I look. But it was like that's why I joke with Jordan. I'm like, I should just have never done this because I liked myself before, because I was less focused on that. And it wasn't something that was the center of my day every single day. And so it's like, if you're like a woman struggling with that, it's like, try not to focus so much on yourself. I'm still learning this. So like, I'm still in the middle of this. Like every morning I'm like, oh, great. Like, what am I going to wear today? Or like even things that I used to feel cute in, I'm like, this is just dumb. I just look like a sausage in a casing. You know,
like all that your body has done and can do.
And see, like those are all so true. And
you said that you are getting ready to start your period.
Yes.
Every single time, having 2 girls in the house, every time that would happen, including myself, I would always, you know what, this time, right now, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to think about anything. Just remember your
just let it go.
I understand what you're saying, because I think that, like, for me, something that, I mean, I've been doing this for like a long time. I don't even know how long, but probably like after having kids, like something that was super freeing for me, I rarely ever step on a scale.
Oh yeah.
I just don't, I'm not like, to me, I'm like, I'm not willing to like define what I think about anything by like a number.
No.
Because to me, I'm like, I know that like I'm stronger than I was before, and that's going to be my measure.
Yes.
So I'm like, there is something like, if you're feeling those feelings and you are constantly like taking pictures or getting on a scale, like maybe free yourself of that for a while. I think that's helpful.
That's like a huge
I think it's good that like now you're off of it and you aren't having to take like the daily pictures, because that will be like freeing too.
Yes, it totally is.
I completely relate with you. The same thing happened when I went through the nutrition program, stepping on a scale every day, and that you just get into a headspace that you're not meant to be.
Yeah.
And even going through, that's why going into 75 hard, I was like, I'm not even going to put any effort into these pictures. I'm not going to look at them. I'm going to click, and I'm not even going to look at it when I send it, because I knew what happened the first time I did that, and
that's how I was too. I literally, especially when I saw your pictures, which actually I thought were super cute,
Which I did nothing
and made
special.
me laugh
I
because
just
they
used
were
a
like
self-timer.
That is just so funny, because literally I got to the point where I was sitting in bed and I'd take a picture of my feet or something just to take a picture. I'm like, I don't really care.
I know,
you know, it just didn't matter to me. You know, I hate posing for a
I think
picture.
that's like true though, that like how she's like, she just posted and what, I think that's like a good thing, because I think that if you spend long enough, can be critical. Like we can all be self-critical. It's very easy to like fall into that. But like, you know, deep down that you move your body well, you fuel your body well. Like those are the controllables, and like you look awesome. So
Thank you. I know. And that's like those things. It's just like getting out of that, because I don't believe those things that I feel. It's just like,
no, I get it.
It's
just
you know,
hard.
I know it's not true.
Yeah.
It's just like when your brain has trained your like you've trained your brain. I was very successful in training my brain for 75 days, just on the wrong things. I still don't like reading nonfiction. You know, like it's still stupid, but it's fine. But yeah, so that is what I am still learning and praying through and trying to overcome. But I think that's whether it was 75 hard or even if you're just in a gym community. I know like when we first started this podcast, I had multiple people want us to talk about body dysmorphia, so I know it's a common thing.
Right.
Because I know like that is it's very real. So like if you're feeling that, just remember like those, just because you think something doesn't make it true.
Correct.
And so like that's a really big thing to hold captive in it when it comes to how you look. If you're thinking negatively of yourself, like you need to just quickly let it go.
I heard someone say once that like we value our own thoughts too much, and we don't value God's thoughts enough, which I think is kind of like a really good thing.
It's very, very true. And when you start valuing your own thoughts, like in regards to like your body image too, it's like things get so confusing and it's just very unhealthy, because it will affect all of your relationships. Because like with my situation, like I'll feel this way and like Carson will see that I feel that way. And it's like I'm usually a very confident person in my body, and it's like you can tell when someone is not, and that's like something that you're trying to like figure out. It's like you can really like body language and just how you're carrying yourself, that's all very evident, and so it does start to affect your relationships too. And so, and like if it's affecting your day-to-day life too, like how you're living and your happiness, that is not good. And so it's just something that you need to like take captive and give to Jesus. So that's what I'm doing.
And like it's the same, not the same, but kind of the same. Like every time after I have a baby, it's like, okay, pick the clothes that you like and feel good on you, and put those are the clothes you wear right now.
Yes.
And like, so if you have clothes that you know make you feel sexier, you know that they fit perfectly, do everything you want it to do, those are the clothes that you wear right now. And don't try anything on that you know isn't gonna fit might make you not feel good, because like me trying to fit into jeans for months after having a baby and I know that they don't fit, it doesn't do me any good. It just makes me feel bad about myself. But if I know that I'm like, ooh, those leggings hold everything in good.
Yes, then you wear those. Yeah, it's true. I know you gotta look at yourself like you would look at your best friend and give yourself the advice you would give.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes, you have to give yourself the advice that you'd give to somebody else.
So I know that I eat well. I know that I exercise all the time. 5-6 days a week I exercise. So there's going to be a lot of body change for me. And going down in sizes isn't going to necessarily be the way that it's going to happen for me. When I was wearing size 7 and had to go up to a 9, I was very discouraged. And then when I went from 9 into 11s, I was like even more discouraged. And then yet I'll look at myself and I'll say, dang, I'm 57 years old. I look pretty good. I don't really care that I'm an 11. It feels better. I can button the buttons without sucking in. I feel good. And my muscle tone is really good.
And that's why numbers are such a bad thing.
Right.
You are a very strong, muscular person.
So I take those 7s and 9s and I get rid of them because I don't
Don't keep
care.
things around
I just don't
that
care.
don't
And
serve
I
you.
don't care that my Hollisters are 11s because they're comfortable.
Yeah. And there's this girl I follow on Instagram, and she's like a fitness person. People are always asking her how much she weighs because she's like an influencer. She goes, I weigh more now than I used to when I started this account. She goes, because I am stronger now. She goes, you guys need to stop weighing yourself and using that as like a monitor, a measurement of like how you are. She's like, I am the heaviest I've ever been, and I'm also the healthiest I've ever been. Stop doing that to yourself, because women, that's what we do. You think a smaller number is like better, but it's like, but are you healthy? Like what are you doing? You know, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah,
but
and everybody's body's different, and you do have a comfort zone in your body. When you are eating right and you're exercising, your body
just
knows where to regulate yourself.
Yeah,
so
it's so true.
Yeah, just be happy. And
that's what me and Joan were talking about, because during 75 Hard, we like lost no weight. Like we were just like, we maintained or like maybe a couple pounds, but it was like, because our bodies are doing what they're supposed to do. Like we're doing all these things right. That's where we are. Right. Like that's okay. Yeah. You need to stop using
on
it
75 Hard, I got more PRs. I didn't notice a huge difference in a lot of other things. I just definitely felt stronger. Yeah. You know, that was exciting for me.
That is so good.
I didn't really take those pictures very serious.
Yeah, I took them too seriously apparently. I was really looking for a turnout on that, but I guess not. All right, does anyone else have anything they want to add before we wrap up today? No.
No, anybody? We did have a thing where we wanted to, if you wanted to share.
Anyone has any
people
like
they follow
social media accounts that you think are worth mentioning. Like on this topic, I will shout out Emily Vondi. She is like one of my favorite girls to follow on Instagram.
So cute.
She's just so positive. She brings like a lot of joy, and like she just reminds you not to take yourself too seriously. And I think that's so good as moms. And she just makes you feel so good.
Yeah,
so I think she's
love her.
And Lindsay Girk too.
Oh, Lindsay Girk.
Yes,
she's
they're
great.
friends. We love both of them. Just any mom that makes you feel like good about yourself in whatever season you're in.
I love following you, Darren.
Oh, yes, that is true. Thanks, guys. But yeah, I love. Who else was I gonna say? Emily, Lindsay.
I like Craig Rochelle. He's definitely going to give you some good encouragement throughout your week.
Yes.
Dr. James. I can't read what his last name is, but he's really good as far as giving
your own handwriting.
Yeah, it's DINIC. Dr. James Dinnick.
Oh, okay. Speaking of below deck, I love Chef Adam on Instagram. Oh my gosh, his videos are just really well put together, and his life is really cool, and his recipes look so good. So he's like a very calming person to follow.
If you're in a sweet tooth mood, Butternut Bakery, she's really good. I think her name is Jenna, but she's from Arizona, and I think I started following her account way back in the day. But she's awesome, and her recipes are all cool for like if you're just like a home baker. She has a lot of gluten, allergy-friendly stuff too. So she kind of does it all, which I like. It's a good mix. And then another food one, because the food ones are the only ones I could come up with.
Like, these are the most important, okay?
Paleo Running Mama. She's good. She has a lot of recipes that obviously they're paleo, but one thing for me is like I love to bake. I love to be in the kitchen. If I can make something slightly like healthier for my kids so that they can like consume it more regularly, I will do that. And she's like, her baked goods are the best that I found in terms of recipes. So
that's good to know.
Give her a shout out. And then for motivation, Galen's got me onto like Ed Milet. He's really good.
Yeah, he is good. His
he
podcast is
He has a girl, Jamie Kern Lima, and I think I'm going to read her new book, which is called Worthy. I think it's called Worthy. I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right, Jamie. But
We'll
her new book looks really good.
I love it. Jordan, do you have one? Or
I
some?
should have written them down.
Oh. Just
I
what's
agree
up
with everything.
I agree. I will say, okay, as far as like influencers who just are like influencers, I love following Danny Austin.
Danny.
We've followed her for years. She's just very authentic and sweet, and like
I love
her
Matt
whole
and Abby
family
too.
Oh, and
yeah,
Sadie
Matt and
Robertson.
Abby, Sadie Robertson, and then I love
Devin.
Hunter and Devin Cordell. Cordell. I always thought it was Cordell until she went on Danny Austin's thing,
Our
and she
feeds
said
are so different.
yeah, no, but they're like super, super sweet. So I just love all of them. They're probably like, I would be sad. I always, with this question, I was like, who would I be sad if they deleted their Instagrams? And those are the ones that I came up with. Just off the top of my head. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah.
But
Love it.
yeah, love it. All right. Well, can't wait to see you guys. And well, we won't see you. What am I talking about?
We might see some of
We
you.
might see some of you. Can't wait to talk to you guys again next week. If you guys have feedback for us or anything or want to share your thoughts with us, you guys can always DM the Mama Birds podcast, or you can pop into any of our individual DMs if you want to talk about anything. We're all very open, so always feel free to reach out if you just want to talk or need help with anything, or just
If
need
there's anything specific you want to hear us talk about.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. All right.
Yeah, give us a topic.
Yeah. This podcast I was very loose on, and my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, there's not a full topic." The structured one. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate
Thanks, guys.
you. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.